The book of Yirmeyahu, also called the book of Jeremiah, chapter 19. Thus says Yahuah, Go get a potter's earthen bottle, and take of the ancients of the people, and of the ancients of the priests, and go forth unto the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim there the words that I shall tell you, and say, Hear ye the word of Yahuah, O kings of Yehudah, and inhabitants of Yerushalayim. Thus says Yahuah Tsevaoth, the Elohai of Yashar'el, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever hears, his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other Elohim, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Yehudah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents. They have also built the high places of Baal, to burn their sons with fire for ascending smoke offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spoke it, neither came it into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahuah, that this place shall no more be called Topheth, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Yehudah and Yerushalayim in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives. And their carcasses will I give to be meat for the fowls of the heavens, and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate, and a hissing. Everyone that passes thereby shall be astonished, and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons, and the flesh of their daughters. And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straitness, wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives, shall straiten them. Then shall you break the bottle in the sight of the men that go with you, and shall say unto them, Thus says Yahuah Tsevaoth, Even so will I break this people and this city, as one breaks a potter's vessel that cannot be made whole again, and they shall bury them in Topheth, till there be no place to bury. Thus will I do unto this place, says Yahuah, and to the inhabitants thereof, and even make this city as Topheth. And the houses of Yerushalayim, and the houses of the kings of Yehudah, shall be defiled as the place of Topheth, because of all the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the host of heaven, and have poured out drink offerings unto other Elohim. Then came Yirmeyahu from Topheth, whither Yahuah had sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the court of Yahuah's house, and said to all the people, Thus says Yahuah Tsevaoth the Elohai of Yashar'el, Behold, I will bring upon this city and upon all her towns all the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my words. Chapter 20. Now Pashur the son of Immer the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of Yahuah, heard that Yirmeyahu prophesied these things. Then Pashur smote Yirmeyahu the prophet, and put him in the stocks that were in the high gate of Binyamin, which was by the house of Yahuah. And it came to pass on the morrow that Pashur brought forth Yirmeyahu out of the stocks. Then said Yirmeyahu unto him, Yahuah has not called your name Pashur, but Magur Mikkaviv. For thus says Yahuah, Behold, I will make you a terror to yourself, and to all your friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and your eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Yehudah into the hand of the king of Babel, and he shall carry them captive into Babel, and shall slay them with the sword. Moreover, I will deliver all the strength of this city, and all the labors thereof, and all the precious things thereof, and all the treasures of the kings of Yehudah will I give into the hand of their enemies, which shall spoil them, and take them, and carry them to Babel. And you, Pashur, and all that dwell in your house shall go into captivity, and you shall come to Babel, and there you shall die, and shall be buried there, you and all your friends, to whom you have prophesied lies. O Yahuah, you have deceived me, and I was deceived. You are stronger than I, and have prevailed. I am in derision daily, everyone mocks me. For since I spoke, I cried out, I cried violence and spoil, because the word of Yahuah was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watched for my halting, saying, perchance he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him. But Yahuah is with me as a mighty terrible one. Therefore my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. But, O Yahuah Tsevaoth, that try the righteous, and see the mind and the heart, let me see your vengeance on them. For unto you have I opened my cause. Sing unto Yahuah, Hallelujah, for he has delivered the soul of the poor from the hand of evildoers. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bore me be blessed. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a male child is born unto you, making him very glad. And let that man be as the cities which Yahuah overthrew and repented not, and let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting at noontide. Because he slew me not from the womb, that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. Chapter 21. The word which came unto Yirmeyahu from Yahuah, when King Tzidkiyahu sent unto him Pashur the son of Malchiyahu, and Zephaniah the son of Maaseyahu the priest, saying, Inquire, I pray you, of Yahuah for us, for Nebuchadnezzar king of Babel makes war against with us. If so be that Yahuah will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may go up from us. Then said Yirmeyahu unto them, Thus shall ye say to Tzidkiyahu, Thus says Yahuah Elohai of Yashar'el, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babel and against the Kasdim, which besiege you without the walls, and I will assemble them into the midst of this city. And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand, and with a strong arm, even in anger, and in fury, and in great wrath. And I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence. And afterward, says Yahuah, I will deliver Tzidkiyahu king of Yehudah, and his servants, and the people, and such as are left in this city from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babel, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those that seek their life. And he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy. And unto this people you shall say, Thus says Yahuah, Behold, I set before you the way of life, and the way of death. He that abides in this city shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goes out, and falls to the Kasdim that besiege you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, says Yahuah. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babel, and he shall burn it with fire. And touching the house of the king of Yehudah say, Hear ye the word of Yahuah, O house of David, thus says Yahuah, Execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Behold, I am against you, O inhabitant of the valley, and rock of the plain, says Yahuah, which say, Who shall come down against us, or who shall enter into our habitations? But I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings, says Yahuah, and I will kindle a fire in the forest thereof, and it shall devour all things round about it. Chapter 22. Thus says Yahuah, Go to the house of the king of Yehudah, and speak there this word, and say, Hear the word of Yahuah, O king of Yehudah, that sits upon the throne of David, you and your servants, and your people that enter in by these gates. Thus says Yahuah, Execute ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong, do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place. For if ye do this thing indeed, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his people. But if ye will not hear these words, I swear 7 oaths by myself, says Yahuah, that this house shall become a desolation. For thus says Yahuah unto the king's house of Yehudah, You are Gilad unto me, and the head of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make you a wilderness, and cities which are not inhabited. And I will prepare destroyers against you, every one with his weapons. And they shall cut down your choice cedars, and cast them into the fire. And many nations shall pass by this city, and they shall say every man to his neighbor, Wherefore has Yahuah done thus unto this great city? Then they shall answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahuah Elohim, and worshipped other Elohim, and served them. Weep ye not for the dead, neither bemoan him, but weep sore for him that goes away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country. For thus says Yahuah touching Shallum the son of Yirmeyahu king of Yehudah, which reigned instead of Yoshiyahu his father, which went forth out of this place. He shall not return thither any more, but he shall die in the place whither they have led him captive, and shall see this land no more. Woe unto him that builds his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, and gives him not for his work, that says, I will build me a wide house and large chambers, and cuts him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar and painted with vermilion. Shall you reign because you clothe yourself in cedar? Did not your father eat and drink, and do judgment and justice? And then it was well with him? He judged the cause of the poor and needy, then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, says Yahuah? But your eyes and your heart are not but for your covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence, to do it. Therefore thus says Yahuah concerning Yahoiakim the son of Yoshiyahu king of Yehudah, They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, my brother, or Ah, sister. They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, Adon, or Ah, his glory. He shall be buried with the burial of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon, and cry, and lift up your voice in Bashan, and cry from Avarims, for all your lovers are destroyed. I spoke unto you in your prosperity, but you said, I will not hear. This has been your manner from your youth, that you obeyed not my voice. The wind shall eat up all your pastors, and your lovers shall go into captivity. Surely then shall you be ashamed and confounded for all your wickedness. O inhabitant of Lebanon, that makes your nest in the cedars, how gracious shall you be when pangs come upon you, the pain as of a woman in travail. As I live, says Yahuah, though Konyahu, the son of Yahoiakim king of Yehudah, were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck you thence, and I will give you into the hand of them that seek your life, and into the hand of them whose face you fear, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babel, and into the hand of the Kasdim. And I will cast you out, and your mother that bore you, into another country, where ye were not born, and there shall ye die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. Is this man Konyahu a despised broken idol? Is he a vessel, wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? Chapter 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, says Yahuah. Therefore thus says Yahuah Elohai of Yashar'el against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, says Yahuah. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds. And they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, says Yahuah. Behold, the days come, says Yahuah, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Yehudah shall be saved, and Yashar'el shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called, Yahuah Tzidkenu. Therefore behold, the days come, says Yahuah, that they shall no more say, Yahuah lives, which brought up the children of Yashar'el out of the land of Mitzrayim. But Yahuah lives, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Yashar'el out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine has overcome, because of Yahuah, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of those who break wedlock, for because of swearing the land mourns. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, says Yahuah. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, says Yahuah. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Shomeron. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Yashar'el to err. I have seen also in the prophets of Yerushalayim a horrible thing. They break wedlock and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none returns from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Amorah. Therefore thus Yahuah Tsevaoth concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Yerushalayim is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus says Yahuah Tsevaoth, Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of Yahuah. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahuah has said, Ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart, No evil shall come upon you. For who has stood in the counsel of Yahuah, and has perceived and heard his word? Who has marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of Yahuah is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahuah shall not return until he has executed, until he has performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. Am I Elohai at hand, says Yahuah, and not Elohai afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, says Yahuah? Do not I fill the heavens and the earth, says Yahuah? I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, says Yahuah? Is not my word like as a fire, says Yahuah, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuah, that steal my words every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuah, that use their tongues and say, he says, Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, says Yahuah, and do tell them, and cause my people to err, by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, says Yahuah. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest, shall ask you, saying, What is the burden of Yahuah? You shall then say unto them, What burden? I even forsake you, says Yahuah. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, The burden of Yahuah, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say everyone to his neighbor, and everyone to his brother, What has Yahuah answered? And what has Yahuah spoken? And the burden of Yahuah shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living Elohim, of Yahuah Tsevaoth our Elohim. Thus shall you say to the prophet, What has Yahuah answered you? And what has Yahuah spoken? But since ye say, The burden of Yahuah, therefore thus says Yahuah. Because ye say this word, The burden of Yahuah, and I have sent unto you, saying, Ye shall not say, The burden of Yahuah. Therefore behold, I will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten. O earth, 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 hear the word of Yahuah. Thus says Yahuah, Write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, and ruling any more in Yehudah. Chapter 24. Yahuah showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs were set before the temple of Yahuah. After that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babel had carried away captive Yirmeyahu, the son of Yahoiakim king of Yehudah, and the princes of Yehudah, with the carpenters and the smiths, from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babel. 1 basket had very good figs, even like the figs that are first ripe, and the other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten, they were so bad. Then said Yahuah unto me, What do you see, Yirmeyahu? And I said, Figs, the good figs, very good, and the evil, very evil, that cannot be eaten, they are so evil. Again the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Thus says Yahuah, the Elohai of Yashar'el, Like these good figs, so will acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Yehudah, whom I have sent out of this place into the land of the Kasdim for their good. For I will set my eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, and I will build them, and not pull them down, and I will plant them, and not pluck them up. And I will give them a heart to know me, that I am Yahuah, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim, for they shall return unto me with their whole heart. And as the evil figs which cannot be eaten, they are so evil. Surely thus says Yahuah, so will I give Tzidkiyahu the king of Yehudah and his princes, and the remnant of Jerusalem that remain in this land, and them that dwell in the land of Mitzrayim. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse, in all places whither I shall drive them. And I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers.